people on LinkedIn being spammy and slimy and sounding like that car salesman and trying to sell you something before they're even connected with you, that's crazy. You want to visit their page. You want to follow them, read some of their articles, maybe even engage with some of their content before you send a curated introduction to connect, curated message to connect. And you want to customize that connection request so that it stands out from the crowd. It doesn't sound salesy. You actually want to help them, or you really love the work that they're doing. Welcome to Inspiration Contagion, where we spread inspiration one story at a time. I am your host, Holly Jean Jackson. Each interview spotlights transformational business leaders, their stories, challenges, and advice for how you too can lead yourself and others through inspiration. Learn how you too can achieve peak performance, build more revenue, and lead the legacy you were meant to lead. Welcome back to Inspiration Contagion, and this week I'm doing a solo recording for you. And based on what we're hearing, our community of entrepreneurs and business leaders needs today more than ever. I want to talk to you about the importance and the power of community and relationship. So the mistake that I see business owners, leaders, entrepreneurs making continuously is their mindset and framework around the sales process. Sales is literally an invitation for your potential buyer to go into a deeper relationship with you and continue transforming and growing their business, their personal life, however you're helping them with their specific pain point through the services or products that you offer. This is why it's so important that we be great listeners and that we emphasize giver gain. This means we are giving more to the prospect, more to our collaboration partners, more to anyone we're working with in our life. We are focused on generosity and abundance. And one of the ways we can show that doesn't have to be a financial support. Oftentimes it's about how our network is our net worth. If you meet a prospect who needs an introduction to a publisher and you know an amazing publisher, you want to make that intentional, curated introduction to add value. This is going to help your prospect gain, make easier decisions, have powerful connections to help them with their current pain point and their current need. But it's also building trust because your network is so amazing. That's one way you can be in giver's gain and add to your prospect or even a collaboration partnerships trust, credibility, and building a deeper relationship and partnership over time. So I want you to look at the curated introductions that you could offer the folks in your community that would really help them break through pain points. And how would you know what those introductions are? By asking insightful questions, which is a huge part of a powerful sales process and even just a powerful collaboration experience. If you're asking a potential client on a call, what is your biggest pain point and what kind of introduction or kind of person could I make an introduction for that would powerfully help you through this issue today? If they say, I'm launching a book and I'm looking for a publisher, or I'm launching a book and I need a marketing team to help me with that, or I'm launching a book and I need a PR partner, make those powerful introductions intentionally to help them pass that. And for collaboration partners, the same thing. What are they launching today that you can help them with? Who do they need introductions to make that launch really powerful? And what in their world is a struggle or pain point where you know someone who can help them with that? And if that person is you, great. Have a separate conversation around that. Say, hey, Dan, I heard your pain point is X, Y, and Z. I actually help folks with that. Our company does. I'd love to have a separate call with you, you and your co-founder, you and your team, on how we can address that and blast through this particular pain point for you. So this also means that if we're going to be in giver's gain, we need to have a powerful community. You need to have more people in your network to build that network so that you have those people you can make these powerful curated introductions to. And this is why transformation, expansion, and growing your relationships is so important. Whether that's LinkedIn or it's through networking or it's going to conferences, you want to start building relationships with people that are going to help serve your prospective clients, your existing clients. You want to build relationships with people that are serving the same client pool as you in totally different ways so that you can refer business back and forth. And you want to go to the places where they are hanging out online and in person to continuously expand your community so that you can be in that state of abundance and flow and build deeper relationships and expansive networks and community. And honestly, this is how you differentiate yourself as a business owner, is by those relationships. That's where you create that high touch delight experience for customers, prospective clients, and your referral partners. So a couple of networking do's and don'ts for you. For people who are new to this experience, let's start with the don'ts. I like to give the example of when you're dating as a metaphor for this. So what are the things you don't do when you're dating and when you're networking on the first date or the first point of contact? You don't ask for the sale. You don't ask for their email or their phone number in the first point of contact. You don't just skip 10 steps and get into the relationship. So what does this look like when you're prospecting or doing lead generation online? People on LinkedIn being spammy and slimy and sounding like that car salesman and trying to sell you something before they're even connected with you, that's crazy. You want to visit their page. You want to follow them, read some of their articles, maybe even engage with some of their content before you send a curated introduction to connect, curated message to connect. And you want to customize that connection request so that it stands out from the crowd. It doesn't sound salesy. You actually want to help them, or you really love the work that they're doing. You want to stand out and be in that stance of giver's gain and abundance versus just give me, take, I want to take from you. And we've all seen it. And it's amazing to me to this day. We do some LinkedIn automation and we do some outreach that's pretty powerful. And the reason it works is because it's from that giver's gain perspective. We're inviting people in a powerful way to collaborate, to give generously to them, to invite them to our community of badass business owners and people that are here to heal the world through their services and their products because they're doing good. And we want to help them go big to give big. How could you possibly say no to that invitation unless you're not our vibe? You're not the right tribe. You're not a fit for the community. Great. We want to dispel that. That's the whole point of marketing. But when we do that correctly, great. Some other don'ts. You don't want to then, not trust that connection. You're connected at this point. You don't want to just message right away, buy my book, sign up for my webinar. You want to generously give to them, whether that's, let me make some introductions in my network that would be powerful for you. What would a valuable introduction today be? Or I have a podcast. I'd love to consider bringing you on as a guest. Or I actually was looking at your profile. I saw you just did a book launch. I have a publisher or a marketing person that could be a really great asset to help you continue your book launch journey. Would you like that introduction? See how that's totally different than 90% or higher of what's happening on LinkedIn and other lead generation platforms? You're adding value. You're building the relationship. Of course, you're going to build trust and credibility and likability when you do these things. And then also I like to, so let's switch to the do's instead of the don'ts. Be yourself, imbibe the vision and mission and values of the company you represent. If you're on a sales team, if you're a corporate leader, have that vibe. Align to the marketing and vision of the company you're working for. And if you're a founder and the head salesperson, you need to be yourself. People can tell when you're trying to fake it to make it. People can tell when you're not in the right mindset or the right energy of asking for the sale. When you're desperate, they can feel that. So be yourself when you're networking and when you're on sales calls. Additionally, some other do's. Give generously. And don't sit there and be afraid, they're going to just take from me. If they're takers, you'll know this quickly. And it never hurts to give generously. That's going to come back to you tenfold or higher. So never be in the state of mind of competition or lack or thinking, what if? Release that. Do also show up ready to add value. Do your research on them. Really be ready to go deep with them. And then do ask very insightful questions and be strategic about the questions that you ask. we do a group call. And we get resistance occasionally when people sign up for this. They say, well, I'm more comfortable in a one-on-one format. Great. We're super busy. And we found that sometimes people don't show up and we have a full calendar that ends up being empty because we have no-shows occasionally. And then additionally, we found that these group formats are so powerful, not just for our company, but all of the amazing people that show up serendipitously on each of our group calls. People walk away giving us testimonials and value adds and referring us business because of the group call format. So we don't sit there and meet them and say, let's do a one-on-one. We say, show up for a process and here's why, and this is why it's powerful. The 3 questions that we ask in that call are strategic and intentional, and they're meant to help us get the data points and information for specific next steps that we have in our process. We ask them who they love to work with and why. And we also model how we would respond to this so that we can make clear, valuable introductions and understand their mission, vision, and their avatar. And we get really great answers that give us very easy introductions for potential collaboration partners, potential clients for them, and potential avenues for other podcasts they might want to guest on, for example. The second question we ask is, what's your superpower in business? I ask this question because if they're really skilled as a connector, they're perfect for our community. And I want to connect them to other powerful connectors. If they're really skilled in marketing or talent acquisition or something that we need in our collaboration partnership area, I'm going to say, let's have a one-to-one collaboration call and send them our intake form, which goes very in depth so we can have an intentional collaboration magic call. And then the third question we ask them is, what do you need more of in your business today? Now, this helps me in terms of making introductions if it's something we don't help with. But if it's something we do help with, I can say, Trisha, you just mentioned that you have a book launch coming up and you have a publisher, but they're not doing anything with your marketing for the launch. And you have no idea where to start to become a bestseller and to amplify your book launch. And you just need that marketing plan. We do that. I'd love to have a separate call with you to discuss that, to see if it's a fit for you and your team. Here's a link in the chat for that. So I'm able to meet them where they're at and add value, build the relationship, invite them to go deeper into the relationship if it's something we can help them with, or collaborate with them. These are the do's and don'ts of networking. And if you do this and you put relationship first, you go with the giver's gain mindset, and you stay in that stance of how relationship is what sales is all about. It's just going deeper into that relationship. You're going to remove a lot of barriers to resistance, and you're going to open up a floodgate of opportunity for revenue that works. And you're going to help your clients go big and give big. I'd love to hear of these insights and strategies, what's working best for you, what results you're having. Please comment below. If you love the podcast, please give us 5 stars and share it with somebody else who needs to hear this message today, because they're not looking at revenue as a relationship. They are being that, slimy car salesperson. Let's help them shift that, especially if they're doing something good in this world. Let's go big and give big together today. I'll see you on our next episode. Thanks for all the work that you do powerfully. Thank you for joining the show today. I hope you were inspired. More importantly, I hope you take action. If the show inspired you, I ask that you subscribe and share it with your network. Let's spread inspiration together today.